Jungkook finally opens his voice, and his words make Jimin can only be silent with a blank stare. What exactly happened? Why is Jim lying? Who was the mysterious figure who was with him that night? And why does all this feel like the beginning of the destruction of their friendship? Surprising facts are beginning to emerge. Is this the secret Jimin has been hiding from Jungkook? Have you ever seen someone you trust so much suddenly make you feel alien in the world you both wake up in? Have you ever felt that sincerity feels false for a long time, until you yourself are not sure when the lie began? That's how Jungkook feels now. And the world, especially the army, is now left speechless as the great secret finally begins to be revealed. Just when Jimin can't say a word, everything seems ordinary at first. Jungkook attended the concert of one of the BTS members with a cheerful expression that made many fans join in the warm moment. But who would have thought that day would be the beginning of the most surprising emotional confrontation between two friends who had been considered brothers by many? Jimin, who was also supposed to be at the concert, reportedly told Jungkook that he was not feeling well and could not come. The sentence is short, simple, and does not arouse the slightest suspicion. Jungkook, with a confidence that had never been broken before, simply replied, "Get some rest, Hyung. I'll tell you all about it later." But the night didn't end as anyone expected, because the camera of a personal bodyguard accidentally recorded something, and from there everything began to collapse. It was clearly recorded. Jimin, in a dark jacket and a hat that covered almost his entire face, came out of the back door of a concert area. Not alone. He walked quickly, accompanied by someone who has not been identified, but is believed not to be part of the BTS team. Not even the HYBE staff. It's just the two of them. And their footsteps lead to the one place that raises thousands of questions. A small restaurant in the Itaewon area, away from the concert crowd, away from the public spotlight, and, most shock, full away from Jungkook. The question is, why is Jim lying? Who is the figure with him? And the most devastating, why did Jungkook only find out about it after the video went viral? The army immediately. The hashtags Jungkook Bukaswara and hashtag Jimin Mengalang suddenly trending around the world. But before the public could guess any further, something bigger happened. Jungkook, who is known to rarely make personal statements in person, finally spoke. But not in VLive, not on Instagram, and not at official events. He was speaking at a private documentation session HYBE had planned for their latest release, and that part, leaking did I end the 58-second video. Jungkook appears to sit still for almost 20 seconds before saying quietly, "Sometimes I think, how much I actually know the people I call family." His words hung in the air. His eyes looked down, and the sound of his breathing was heavy. I know people have private lives. I know. But I also know, when a person decides to lie to the one who trusts him the most, it's no longer about privacy. It's a matter of choice. And Jimin, he chose not to be honest. And it hurts. Silence. And the whole world was silent. Shortly after the footage appeared, Jimin disappeared from social media for more than 48 hours. No stories, no uploads. Even HYBE staff refused to comment. Rumors began circulating that Jimin had wanted to cancel his presence in his upcoming solo project. But what struck ARMY the most was one thing: Jimin's blank stare in a clip secretly recorded by fans as he walked into the practice building, alone, without makeup, without a smile, and without passion. The look holds 1,000 meanings. Is that regret? Guilt? Or a silent confession of the lies he has committed? Many are trying to find justification. That maybe Jimin just met an old friend. That maybe he just didn't want to make Jungkook worry. But is that enough to explain the lie? Was it enough to make Jungkook, who had always been by her side, feel betrayed? The questions never stopped. Even the Korean media began to speculate that the relationship between BTS members began to stretch, since there was pressure for each other's individual projects. But when the question began to roll towards who was the man with Jimin that night, another surprising fact emerged. The restaurant where Jimin was caught on camera was the same restaurant once visited by a former HYBE trainee who is now rumored to be in a feud with one of the company's internal producers. And even more surprising, the man turned out to have had a close relationship with Jimin during training first. Is this just a coincidence? Or Was it a reunion that the public should not have known about? Jungkook himself has not provided further clarification. But the fans began to collect old clips, moments when both looked a little different than usual, small but real. Like when Jungkook seemed to avoid eye contact with Jimin in a group photo shoot. Or when Jimin posted the lyrics of a song that talks about believing in the wrong. Everything is like a puzzle piece that has been hidden. And now it's starting to sort itself out, leading to one terrible fact. That friendship that has been the foundation of BTS being at the edge of a crack. But is this really the end of everything? Or is it just the darkest phase before the two forgive each other? No one knows for sure. But one thing is clear, there is a deep wound in Jungkook's heart. And there was something that could no longer be hidden in Jimin's blank gaze. Because a lie, no matter how small, can change everything. And that night, unknowingly, Jimin had chosen something that made everything change, for good. What really happened after that night? Did Jungkook and Jimin talk in person? Or will the silence continue to be an invisible chasm that begins to separate these two most iconic friends in the K-pop world? Everyone is waiting for clarity. But what appears as more and more puzzles point. One day after the video of Jungkook's statement was leaked, HYB's security team began sweeping through various online forums spreading the footage. They issued a massive takedown request, but a piece of the truth has already spread. And the public is beginning to realize that this is not just another misunderstanding, that a person from the internal environment, who declined to be named, revealed that before the concert took place, Jungkook had sent a personal voice note to Jimin. Not to invite, but to just say one simple phrase, "I hope you're there." Even if it's just for a moment, that's enough. Jimin only replied with a smile emoji. No sound.
No excuses.
There is no certainty. But for Jungkook, that's enough to believe. And now, it is the emoji that has become the most painful symbol of lies. Even more devastating is the fact that Jungkook learned everything not from Jimin's own mouth, but from one of the staff who felt can't stand to see him keep waiting. The staff showed Jungkook the restaurant's CCTV footage after the documentation. And that's when everything collapsed. Imagine how you feel when you see someone you consider a refuge. It's being with someone else, at a time and place he or she should be by your side. And he wasn't just absent, he was lying. He deliberately stayed away. When the video was played on Jungkook's phone, witnesses said Jungkook did not say a word. He only played the video 4 times. And every time the second of the tape reaches the part of Jimin laughing while holding the door of the restaurant, Jungkook bites his lip. "I didn't know it was more heartache or disappointment, but I know he's not angry," said the insider. "He's like broken." Meanwhile, Jimin did not issue any statement. Even in a training session for an upcoming unit project involving himself and Taeil, he seems spaced out, as if his mind is drifting somewhere. Taeil, who is known to be very expressive, only stared at Jimin for a moment and then turned around.
No hugs. No joke.
And maybe for the first time, no connection to the fan captured a rare moment when all three, Jungkook, Jimin, and Taeil, were in the same rehearsal room. But the atmosphere is colder than usual. Jimin sat with his earphones on, looking at the floor. Taeil hugs the guitar in the corner of the room, while Jungkook, he stood staring at the glass, holding a bottle of water that had been empty since half an hour before. Why isn't anyone talking? What's really going on behind the walls of that rehearsal room? Some netizens began speculating that it wasn't just Jungkook who felt lied to. Taeil, who is said to have known of the relationship between Jimin and the mysterious man for a long time, said he felt caught in the middle of 2 fires. Evidence in the form of screenshots of Jimin's old conversations with someone named YJ came back, and many suspected that the figure was a former HYBE trainee who had a complicated past with Jimin, and who apparently still harbored old feelings. Is this just an old love that isn't over yet? Or is it part of a much deeper game? HYB finally released a short statement. "We will not provide comments regarding the personal activities of our artists that are outside the official schedule. However, we ask all parties to maintain the privacy and emotions of all BTS members." The statement, which instead of calming, sparked anger among the army. They felt that HYB was again hiding something. Just like when Rumor Jean was forced to perform despite fatigue. Just like when Jungkook's documentary was re-edited just to disguise his emotional side. And now, well, they try to cover this wound too, but this wound is too deep, too real. ARMY began flooding social media with messages of hope. Some hoped Jimin will speak soon. Some were angry because they felt Jungkook was bae. There's a phrase that time can never really explain, that silence can be more deafening than 1,000 shouts. And in the midst of that silence, things start to explode. Not with a voice, but with injuries that they never talked about. 3 days after Jimin's long silence, the training schedule for Project Unit HYYH Reimagined resumed. A project that should be a nostalgic moment about that friendship of youth. Instead, it turned into the most astonishing stage of emotional tension in BTS's history. According to a staff member who was in HYB's fourth-floor practice room that night, the room temperature felt unusual. We all know something is not finished. Usually they greet each other, even if tired. But that night, nobody said a word. Jimin came ahead of schedule. Sit on the floor with headphones in your ears and head down. Taeil came 10 minutes later, glanced at Jimin but said nothing. And Jungkook come last. Not with a face full of anger, but with an indescribable look in his eyes. Not angry, not disappointed, but like someone who no longer hopes. What happened that night took only 17 minutes to change everything. As the rehearsal music was being played by one of the sound engineers, Jungkook abruptly stopped the song with a single hand movement. All eyes were on him. Jimin nodded slowly. And in a room filled with only the sound of their own breathing, Jungkook said, "Can we stop this charade?" His words were like a hammer hitting a wall of tension. All fell silent. Jimin didn't answer right away. He looked at Jungkook in silence. But the look in his eyes could no longer hide anything. Even Taeil turned his head, as if he didn't expect Jungkook to open the conversation frontally, in front of everyone. "I don't care who you have dinner with. I don't care who you're with. But I care when you decide to lie to me," Jungkook continued in a trembling voice. "Because I trust you. More than anyone." Some of the staff were seen retreating slowly, making room. But none of them dared to leave the room. They know this is a moment that will go down in history, either as the breaking point or the rebirth of honesty. Jimin finally spoke.
Slow down.
Almost like muttering, "Me don't know what to say." "Of course you don't know," Jungkook replied, this time more calmly. "You don't know because you don't even think it's going to be a problem. But you know what, Hyung? The most sick of it, not because you went with that guy, but because you decided not to share the truth with me." Taeil, who had been silent for a while, finally opened his mouth. "You have to talk to both. Not here." Jungkook nodded slowly.
No.
"I don't want this silenced anymore. I've been pretending for too long that everything is fine." And that's when Jimin's tears began to fall. Not because of being yelled at, not because of blame, because he's conscious. The wound was deeper than he thought. "I just want some time to myself," she said softly. "That night, I just need some space. I don't want to hurt you, but I don't know how to tell without looking like traitor." "You hurt me precisely because you chose silence," Jungkook replied. "And now all this feels like I lost you, even when you're still here." Silence reigned in the room. After a few minutes, Jungkook walked out of the rehearsal room. Jimin did not pursue him. Taeil just stared at the floor. And the staff? They fell silent with bated breath, as if they had just witnessed something too personal to witness, but too important to ignore. While the outside world was not yet aware of the incident, one thing was certain. Jimin's silence was no longer a mystery. It was a reflection of a person who realized too late the impact of his choice. And for Jungkook, that wound, it was already too obvious to hide behind a stage smile. The next day, without any notice, Jimin posted one black and white photo on his Instagram. The photo shows an empty bench in a small park, and in the caption, only one short sentence is written. "I want to say something, but it may be too late." ARMY in uproar. Comments flooded in. Fans from around the world were crying in the virtual rooms, writing wishes for the two to talk again, open up again, and maybe, if it's not too late, forgive each other. But is forgiveness enough? 3 days later, Jungkook appeared in a short live broadcast. Without makeup, without filters, just himself, sitting in his music room. He looks at the camera with puffy eyes. There are wounds that even music can't heal. But I still sing, because that's the only way I'm talking right now. And he sang a song called Still With You, with a much more mournful tone than usual. Everyone who watched that evening knew the song was not just a performance for fans. It was a message to someone he once referred to as home. Jimin has not yet given an official statement, but a few days after the live, someone uploaded a short video from HYB's training building showing Jungkook and Jimin standing in one frame, but they don't